welcome back to my channel. My name is Landon, and we are here again today for 3, 2, 1. No, I'm just kidding. 3 videos. Hey, what's up? So if you guys have not seen it yet, I should have my Blood, Sweat, and Tears Japanese music video storyline analysis out, okay? Thinking back on it, it's like, I was there, but I feel like there was just so much that I missed. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just walk away from it like, damn, a little defeated, because it's like, there had to be so much more symbology in there. I know it. But today, hopefully, things can get cleared up for us. So, I'm gonna do 3 videos today, recording-wise. I don't know when you're gonna get them, so. Oh, that was bad. Okay, look, one more time. So in today's video, episode number 9 of the BU analysis series, we will be going over the Wings Concept Book notes. So I don't really know how it's gonna work. I guess I'm just gonna read it to y'all. We're gonna follow along. We're gonna see what we can pluck from there. I don't know if we'll be taking notes or what. First time I had to like read some on camera, so like, whatever. But the next video, so episode number 10, I'll be bringing you the Love Yourself teaser posters, as well as the HYYH The Notes Silk Jin. So we'll be going over Jin's notes and the Love Yourself posters together. And the last video is going to be the Love Yourself highlight reel, which I don't know what it means. I guess highlight reel in this case means like before we get it. We'll be about to get the highlights of, I guess. I don't know. But it's a video. So we'll be back to videos by the 3rd one. But y'all know I cannot skip any points of these storylines. So we're just gonna dive right in to these Wing Concept Book notes today. Let's see what they tell us, because I heard that they answer some answers. And if I'm about to be gooped this morning, I'm gonna need my black swan pen, bitch. Fan me off. Oh, this is good. This is good stuff. Multi-purpose. Okay, let's do it. So as I prefaced, I have really no plan of action for this. We're just gonna dive in because I didn't want spoilers, so I don't even know what it really looks like. Let's just see. I don't know how long it's gonna be. I don't know if it's a lot, but we're gonna find out together. Let's get my notebook ready. All right, so the link in the roadmap brings me to this Wattpad page. It says BTS Wings Concept Book. It's a book. Okay. It says BTS unveils the secrets behind the Wings album in the BTS Concept Book, the 312-page photo book. I thought it was a pamphlet, bitch. What the fuck? 300. Of course they need 312 pages with all the details they have. Okay. Shows the production process of the album short films and music videos, as well as photos were taken during various promotional activities, including the Wings tour. Interviews with the members are also included. So I guess we're just gonna jump in. 312 pages. I thought I was gooped. I thought we got a pamphlet. I was gonna say, JK's the killer. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. But just something like that. Like, it was just gonna... Okay. So let's go chapter by chapter. Chapter 1, the beginning. So day. So it looks like evil can be either in day or night form. So evil is a boy in youth. During the day, peaceful, dependent, and ideal and moral. And at night, evil in reality is bellicose. I don't know what the fuck that means. Oh my god. Independent and individual. I think I should be able to do this. Or wait, hold up. Click hard. Oh, bitch. Thanks, Mac. Demonstrating aggression and willingness to fight. Oh, bitch. He put his bows up. He said, I'm evil, bitch. Okay. I don't know what I'm doing. The concept of Wings was decided then. The ending of Fire music video, Boy Meets What? Are they really about to just go in and just tell me, huh? Oh, okay. The blinking cursor behind the phrase Boy Meets at the ending of Save Me music video. The story of BTS had already been written then. Oh my god. This planning, I'm not going to survive this planning. I'm 6 minutes in and I'm on the first paragraph. I can't. Okay. What the boy will meet in Boy Meets Evil of Wings, or in other words, the fissures and temptations of the world. The fissures, remember the fissures? Somewhere in the middle of the Hua Yang Yanhua series, the planning for Wings started as BTS looked back on what they felt passing, what could be called their best moment in life. So their best moment in life is passing. Now they were like, what are we going to do next? And next was the Wings. The Wings. After that, producer Bang It met the manga, Spiral the Bonds of Reasoning, and constructed the outline, though vague it was. Spiral the Bonds of Reasoning may seem like a very simple mystery series, but the protagonist eventually fell into the end of despair. No, into a much deeper darkness. Despite that, he said it was okay because all the agony came from his own choice. It was time for BTS to talk about the suffering and the choices a boy has to face in the process of advancing forward and growing up. So once you finish the most beautiful moment in life, it's like, this is the end of our youth. And if you guys remember from Demian, it's the end of our youth. This is how it is shown to us sometimes. The hint gained from this manga overlapped with the story BTS had been telling, was expanded to the conception of adult and anti-adult, non-adult. Anti-adults believe the realm of adults is full of evil. They refuse to grow and declare the intention to stay as Peter Pan. On the other hand, non-adults have soon known that life is dirty and nasty, but they can't stop on the path of becoming adults as if someone is pushing them forward. So they're like, oh, I'm already in medical school. My parents are making me. I don't know. In the end, they can't become complete adults, and this is also the conception that met BTS, who sang Forever We Are Young as they wrapped up the HYYH series. Looking back from the start of the school trilogy in 2013 to Wings, BTS's history was a story of why, but what and how the boy lived, and also a great journey to come to that conclusion. In school trilogy, BTS were teenagers who aren't tamed by the rules of the world. They said, oh, you late too, bitch? I just skipped class, ho. No, they didn't say it specifically like that, but somewhere in their brains I knew they were thinking it. They shouted, hey, what's your dream to peers who don't have much worry about the future? To the school that forces the same old way of thinking, the same old goals, and to all the adults. Their debut album, Too Cool for School and Oh, Are You Late Too? were the voice of boys who are young but determined to decide their own path in life. And we knew that. They were saying, hey, what's your dream? Get away from us. We always hear it when they're talking about the crow tits and things of that nature where they're just like, we're creating our own path, okay? Teenage energy passed through School Love Affair and Dark and Wild, adding the face of the vigorous red-blooded youth who fight for love recklessly. Dream, happiness, love, they were what teenagers wanted to hear more about than anything. What no one had talked about for a long time, but BTS bared them all out truthfully through the school trilogy. The boys who dashed forward with a spirit as if to destroy the world. At some point, it became the wandering youth. The HYYH days lasted for only a moment, but were dazzlingly beautiful and shining more beautifully than ever. But they were also restless. There was nothing they could know. In I Need You, they were obsessed with love, clung to love knowing that they would be wounded. Ooh. In Run, they sang they wouldn't stop loving despite sensing they would get hurt. So no matter what, they're like, I'm invested, so come be a part of it, you know? I'm like willing to die on this rock. The seven of BTS dashing forward together were the image of the youth willing to face anxiety and suffering itself. Inside the fence called school, inside the world they had set foot in, the boys questioned the world, stepped out of the box, and in the end, chose suffering. And finally, Demian and Wings. From two realms to the bird fights its way out of the egg, Jacob wrestling, the stories in the book showed the world BTS has created so far and the journey to manhood. Dream, secret desire, those temptations, evil, left marks on all the once peaceful, dependent, and moral youth. The boys realized the evil in reality. Experiencing the evil, witnessing their torn apart egos, and eventually coming to self-awareness is the reason the main theme of Wings is temptation and conflict. Like how they rejected the rules by school and adults in the school trilogy, like how they ran forward knowing they would get hurt in HYYH series, BTS once again knew the danger yet still opened the door to meet the evil. From the question of boy meets what, the story of Wings began. Oh, I get it. Literally every single part of their album, I'm like, I chill, sorry. Every single part of their like album series, they were going towards something that wasn't the norm. And maybe that is definitely what made them stand out to the world as a whole. Because like they were like, bitch, oh, you think we're young? What? Oh, you think we can't be in love? What? Oh, you think we can't be successful? What? You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, so this is the picture. These are the pictures of what it looked like. Okay, so 13 minutes later and we are at the beginning. Strap in, baby. I didn't take any notes. Okay. The Beginnings. Short films. So in short film number 1, Begin with JK. Like a Nightmare, Suga's portrait. Oh, so they just giving us answers, bitch. Oh, Okay, let me write this down. So this is in Begin. Like a Nightmare, Suga's portrait and easel go up in flames. A flock of birds flying cast shadow upon the blazing scene. The drawing in his hands turns into Demian's drawing of the bird. A big pair of wings rises from Jungkook's silhouette. Bitch, we figured it out. Thank God we read Demian. Okay, so Begin, this is Suga in portrait. We're gonna make connections. We're gonna fucking make connections. Short film number 2, Lie. Tell me the way, stop me, let me breathe. Jimin eats an apple in the all-gray room. His innocent expression spreads into a wicked smile. So we knew, bitch, evil. We knew you was evil, little Jimmy. Short film number 3, Stigma. V continues to scratch the table legs even in the middle of interrogation. He runs in the dark, gets hit by something invisible, and falls down, moving on to the single room scene. Okay, those are just things that we saw. Wait, I need answers. Scratching the table. Short film number 4, First Love. Continuous whistle, intense light, and the sound effect of an accident. Blood stain and tire tracks left in the road Suga is standing on. Yeah, we saw that. Y'all was being so helpful in the beginning. Who hit who, bitch? Tell me who was interrogating JK. Tell me what the invisible force was. Something. Okay, we're good. We're good. We gotta keep things to figure out. Short film number 5, Reflection. The telephone continues to ring. The booth is locked in chains. Rapmon tries to open the door in agony. The telephone stops ringing and he sinks down. The word liar is carved on the floor. Liar. Okay, so we knew that. Short film number 6, Mama. Hobie takes a pill and the isolation unit changes like a hallucination. The image of Eva appears. Confirmed. That was Eva. It said it, and the thing it said Eva in the corner. So we knew that. We knew it. And then lastly, short film number 7, Awake. A shape akin to a flame shows up in Jin's pupil. He lies in the bed and the room is distorted. The curtains flap and the bird flies outside the window. Okay. Bird window. We probably have that in our notes already. Oh, and they have these like drawn pictures. We love that. We love that. All right. Y'all can find all of these links on the roadmap as well, in case you're wondering. I bet 3 people are still tuned in right now. This is going to be a long way, but I'm doing this for me. Okay? All right. Now this is going to go into the short films. Some more, I guess, observations. So it says, the piano burns. The window shatters with sharp screech. Paint leaks and drips from the portrait. Jungkook watches all of these with fear in his eyes. V recalls his unhappy past. Suga trespasses somewhere and plays the piano. Rapmon sits in the pitch darkness and tattoos his wrist. They are once again in the position of restless boys. Oh, restless. Restless. Like they needed something to do to make life more entertaining. After the school trilogy and after the whole HYYH series, it's like, we're bored. Let's spice it up. They shouted in Epilogue Young Forever, I want the me of today to last eternally. I want to be young forever. Living and being hounded ceaselessly by the incitement of the world. They were young forever, wanted to be young forever. To those boys, the short films of Wings, where the symbols of Damien and the images of HYYH series coexist, are the record linking the end of an era with the next one, and at the same time show that they still remain boys as ever. So Wings is like the next step, obviously, to wanting to become an adult, but still show when we're going to have that passion of being a kid and enjoying life. Starting with concerns about problems they face at school in the debut days, to spending the time of youth and wandering in School Trilogy, BTS met the temptation from a bigger realm, a more complex outer world, and Wings. Bitch, Abraxas, ho. Like, don't fucks with him. Jungkook's silhouette spreads its wings unknowingly. Jimin bites the apple with an ambiguous smile. Hobie is in a paint-scattered room. Finally, Jin drops the apple, burns the lilies, silently touches and stands in front of the rippling mirror. He leaves the photo of all these symbols and goes somewhere. Bitch, where? Where are you going? Oh, I don't like it. Various traces of HYYH remain in the short films at the same time. The different sides of the members compared to the past implies a transition of HYYH. This is the farewell to HYYH, the most melancholy era to both BTS and every fans. It also means, despite that, the story of the boys will continue. They witnessed the fissures of the world, which soon led to the awakening of their egos. It's time to stop into the world of decadence and temptation. The boys remain as restless as ever. So now they still wilding, they're ready to go, fire off at somebody. And I Need You, they were in pain, they fought, they suffered so bad that they drowned themselves in medicine. Okay, they were so scarred from HYH, that's why they chose to do these pills and kill people and things. I ain't gotta tell you. Yet they still play with fireworks and laugh so innocently. In Run, they ran and screamed as though they would destroy the world if they have to. The pain made the moment even more beautiful. The youth BTS spent in HYYH was the faces of the insecure boys who fell out of the fence of the world. A world in which grades, parents, and schools were their everything. Like, that's all they care about. Through Wings short films, though still scared, they had started to come into the arms of evil, the adult world they must step into, breaking out of the solid world, experiencing and awakening to the evil. That is what one has to go through to become a man. So once they actually started growing up after HYYH, they started experiencing all of these things that happen in adulthood: addiction, violence, running away from things, graffiti, you know, longing for people, things of that nature, tattooing themselves because they're bored, breaking and entering, you know, all of those things kind of amalgamated into this bigger problem, but it all started because they were just kids growing up and trying to get into the real world. All right, let's get some quotes from all of them really quickly. So Jungkook says, "In the scene where I had to shed tears, I cried for real. First of all, if they play songs at the set, I'll create a mood. I'm quite sensitive to images or sounds, so I was able to cry easily when filming." We saw that. Jimin. It was hard to explain what images I thought of. I just listened to my solo song Lie and left it to my body. It would be more difficult to portray if I think too much. So improv, baby. Okay, so V says, it was an extension of my character in HYYH, so I didn't have any difficulty portraying it. Besides, I was with a cute, obedient puppy, so I had a great time filming. I'm like, yes, bitch, you have to play with a dog. Sugar. The scene where I threw the rock and broke the window was hard to be reshot. I entered the set with tension after practicing several times, and luckily I nailed it in one go. We saw. Rapman. The telephone booth was set to not open, but it strangely did and fell, so I almost destroyed it. I wasn't supposed to rip apart the change as well as I did. It was left with a lot of regret, but I think I did my best. We heard about that too. Hobie says, since I was young, I was already familiar with a form of musical performance called Dance Cow, so I had no pressure about filming the short film alone. I focused and acted for the video to come out in the best quality. Needed it, hopes. And last but not least, little Jenny Winnie says, I talked with the director on set and adjusted the character. I was in a position where I was the only one left and watching over the others, so I tried to portray the sadness and loneliness. Oh, the only one left, huh, Jen? The only one left, Jen? Jen, the only one left? Jen, only one left. I'm just joking, but that's kind of a big thing to say. All right, so that was the short films. So now let's talk about the comeback trailer, which I'm guessing is talking about Boy Meets Evil. Yes. So in this one it says, in 2013, Rapman's voice filled the debut trailer, signaling the start of the school trilogy. In 2015, the star of HYYH trailer was Suga with Nevermind, who shouted fiercely, whatever thorny path it is, run. Like in HYYH Part 1, and in 2016, there was no doubt that J-Hope would be the guide, the gatekeeper for the world of Wings. He's the gatekeeper, I love that. But producer Hitman Bang said J-Hope is an unique member in the group. He's the best at dancing and able to pull off rapping as well. I think if he can express his self-composed songs through dancing well, he couldn't be cooler beyond that. True to his word, J-Hope has prepared with his blood, sweat, and tears for 1 year and played an excellent role of being the portal of the new path of BTS. Okay, I said BDS like BDSM, but I meant BTS. Okay. Anyway, gatekeeper. The trailer of Wings, Boy Meets Evil, is the invitation ticket sent from BTS. J-Hope is the guide to the new world. Between the short films and the music video, the trailer served as the guide to enter the world of Wings, solely through dance without any further explanation. So you're gonna get my dance interpretation of it, and that's about it. No more. Yeah, we know that, bitch. No more. In less than 3 minutes, Hobie accomplished it with his performance. He was in pain, but he danced like he couldn't stop. In the midst of the void was nothing but dust. Hobie dances as the crimson smoke rises and the floor cracks, as if foreshadowing the entry to the strange new world. He sways between the glamorous world of temptation, scattered with color paints, and his ego. That's my ego. A connection? Maybe so. As if he can't control his desire, as if he's calling for redemption. His movement turns the void into a place overlaid with colors and put on a sensual vibe. Like his saying in Debian, the evil held me in its clutches, the enemy was behind me. Hobie portrayed the anxiety of the youth through a thrilling, dynamic performance. Okay, just like the lyrics written by Hobie, too bad, it's too sweet. This trailer is another test of the temptation, in which viewers can't keep their eyes until the end. As Hobie says, the love is another name for the evil. Boy Meets Evil. You can't help but be drawn into Wings as it being possessed. Bitch, we're possessed, okay? This trailer was a chance that won't come to me a second time. If I mess this up because I didn't practice enough, I would regret it for the rest of my life. So I bit the bullet. I hate living with regrets, said Hobie. He also said, when I first received the theme Boy Meets Evil, I thought of my past and extremely immersed in it. That's why I could write the song with a sincere attitude and dance as well. Okay, Hobie, I didn't realize how big of a job this was. I mean, I did, but I'm glad they just like gave it all to you. You know, they were like, do your dance with me now. Write those lyrics, little bit, yeah. And he's like, yeah. And did it. And it's perfect. Okay, all right, 30 minutes in. This was, I thought, fast. I thought it was gonna be a couple paragraphs to read, but I'm getting detailed, baby, and I'm okay with it. The next section is called photography. Okay, so from School Trilogy to HYYH series, BTS concept photos always conveyed their story and characters visually. With School Trilogy, they dressed up in rumpled uniform look, while at HYYH they appeared like mod-style outfits, which were popular in England during the 60s. It explained the image and growth of BTS, the rebellious boys, the wandering youth, though a visual aspect, but the process of visualizing the theme of Wings, of becoming adults and dealing with temptation on their own, can be a little more complicated. Like producer Bang said, as the direction of Wings was inspired by Demian, the topic of consensus between good and evil, temptation, and ego as an abstract conception, excluding explanation and expressing clearly what the new concept means to say in a few photos without straying too far away from the stories BTS has told so far is undoubtedly difficult. This is so much to read. I can't believe I'm reading so much on camera. This is what, are people gonna really be here for this? Hence, Wings concept photos are more abstract than before. Jimin looks at the camera with apples scattered around. Jungkook lies down on heaps of feathers. Rapmon sits in front of layers of mirrors. The mirrors cast Rapmon's reflection in many directions. This intensifies the abstract and multivalent images shown in the short films. In the short films, Jimin bit the apple with the ambiguous expression. A pair of wings formed from feathers soared from Jungkook's shoulders. And like the title reflection, Rapmon was perplexed by his reflection in the mirrors. Okay, pretty easy symbols to draw from that. Starting from the Demian hint, the story of Wings was slowly unraveled from individual short films. The trailer to concept photos for that reason. The detailed motive of Wings was embedded in the short films, and each individual symbol imprinted on the viewer's minds through the short films was once again fused into the concept photos. Okay, so concept photos, short films, Avi gonna mix and mash. To make this storytelling possible, the details of the sets were invested in 5 times more than photo shoot sets. Oh, they said, oh, we put in 5 times the budget. Oprah, get out. The process of visualizing temptation and adding in erotic elements was especially needed in order to portray an abstract world like Wings. So the face expressions and poses of BTS members looked weary but mysterious at the same time. While their outfits used glam look, the recent trending pajama look and bare look with partial exposure to maximize the sexy and glamorous images. Able to add the eroticism without getting too explicitly, bare look and glam look were the most suitable options to represent Wings. Man must nosh chaos in seek haben. Oh my god. Ihnen, Tanzinden, Stern, Gaberin, Zu, Kana. I'm trying. The phrase was written in these concept photos. It means you must have chaos within you to give birth to a dancing star. A quote from Thus Spoke Zarathustra by Friedrich Nietzsche. My ignorance is showing. What the props, the outfits, and even the quote never forget to speak up for a moment is the concept of Wings itself. So that's in the behind V. Okay, so you must have chaos within you to give birth to a dancing star. Hey, do you guys know about astronomy? How stars are big masses of burning gas, you know what I'm saying? They have to have this crazy fission, fusion interactions on the inside to make them glow. So you have to have that chaos to give birth to the new dancing star to build. Fact check me somebody, because I only took 1 class of that and watched a lot of Neil deGrasse Tyson interviews. Okay. We really read the book to each other? Looks like it. I thought it was gonna be 1 page. So, the next one here. Blood, sweat, and tears. The point, I guess you would say. BTS tends to be recognized as a boy band with a global fandom rather than a K-pop band. The first testing of this was Fire, an electro trap song. The experiment producer Bang did with Fire proved to be a success. True to its title, Fire lighted the fans all over the world on fire, and BTS's strategy of making the winning move with the kind of music that is currently trending in the world, not just in Korea only, wasn't wrong. Korean idol groups' music has started to create a sensation in the West as well. The game's rules have changed. With Blood, Sweat, and Tears, they took another step forward. It doesn't follow the grammar and the genre of idol pop singers where being catchy and easy to sing along is typical. Using Moon Bahaton, a global rising genre, Moon Bahaton, as the base, the melody started with Blood, Sweat, and Tears from the beginning, intrusively suggesting the theme of temptation and lets the dark and subversive energy seep through. This formation that presents a foreign vibe from the start leading to the climax was new but astonishing at the same time. Okay. Foreign and sensual, Blood, Sweat, and Tears music video was foreign and obscure to viewers than ever and full of abstract images for that reason. They were like, we're gonna give you something that's confusing. Sorry. Sorry about it, bitch. But not sorry. From 6 months before the release, producer Bang and music video director Lumpens had researched about, oh my god, wait, I learned about this last night. Missing scene. I know I don't know how to say it, but I literally was watching a YouTube video last night. Shout out Ryan Hollinger. If y'all guys watch Ryan Hollinger, I just watched about this. It's literally like I think it's about like the stuff that's in the scene. Everything has a purpose, everything has a reason. And had come to the decision to distribute the information so it wouldn't stay fixed in Blood, Sweat, and Tears, unlike the dramatized music videos with stories in HYYH. So with they do is they set up things in the background, like every single thing has a reason to be there. Oh, how effing weird is that? I've never heard this before until last night. Oh my god. Okay, wow. Through the change of vertical and horizontal composition, each scene was born from a different painting, and the music video becomes kind of gallery with multiple objects there. Meanwhile, the choreography acts as another splendid mise en scene, with Suga covering Jimin's eyes at the first moment of the performance. The music video for Blood, Sweat, and Tears officially started. In addition, Blood, Sweat, and Tears contains the story and symbols based on Demian. The Wings album included Blood, Sweat, and Tears, conceptualized the growth of BTS before moving on to the next phase, with the help from the classics and mythology. The story of having to go through agony in order to grow up, rather than describing a specific situation, created the vibe that they want to show and explain the conception of temptation, decadence, and growth. While Jin was gazing at The Fall of the Rebel Angels, that's that painting that we were talking about, playing in the background was music piece from Bach. Okay, Bach. Seeking forgiveness from God, but the BTS of Blood, Sweat, and Tears said there's no such thing as God, that our fate has been decided like this since long ago. Okay. From the youth portrayed by the green candy, green smoke, monotonous colors, they went out in a more complicated, more glamorous, and chaotic world. Like how Rapman gave the melted candle wax to JK, like how Suga took Jimin's hand and led him somewhere outside. The ones who grown up in the HYYH series urged the kids who haven't awakened from the dream to wake up. Like that, the story of BTS and Wings was completed. Oh! So I guess technically Blood, Sweat, and Tears is the end to Wings. My throat is like so dry. No, coffee's not helping it. I really did not think I was going to be reading this much. And then literally the next thing is called Blood, Sweat, and Tears Scene by Scene. So I've got to take notes of that. Okay, so continuing on with the Blood, Sweat, and Tears Scene by Scene. All right, let's see this effing breakdown. Scene number 1. Jin is looking at The Fall of the Rebel Angels by Peter Bruegel. Although the painting depicts the angels who rebelled against God being forced down to hell, in the music video, it was used with the meaning that for a person to realize about themselves and grow up, they must stand against God. Okay, alright. Y'all bad, y'all bad. Scene number 2. Behind the members is, okay, The Lament for Icarus by Herbert James Draper. In the myth of Icarus, he fell while flying close to the sun when his wings made from beeswax melted. Wax! Oh, beeswax! Wax melted RMJK connection. It holds the meaning that he rejected the fate given by God and chose to follow his own path. Bitch was burning. The scene of Suga covering Jimin's eyes resembles the last scene of Demian. Demian tells Sinclair, who has his eyes closed, "I'm giving you a kiss from Frau Eva," which means he will soon merge with his ego. Ooh. 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 So is Suga Eva? No. I don't know. Maybe. So in scene 4, the alcoholic Rapman is drinking absinthe, a favorite drink of Romanticism artists like Vincent van Gogh and Romanticism writer Albert Rimbaud. It was used to symbolize the will of humans to fight against God and fate. Okay, y'all came through and let me know it's absinthe. Scene number 5. There are 2 contrast conceptions called monotonous and colored here. Colored doesn't only mean having colors, but also being glamorous and diversive. From the monotonous world of youth, BTS learned about the various situations of the colored real world. The water under Hobie's chair is melted chocolate. Oh, Hobie is melted chocolate. In Demian, when Sinclair was suffering because of his lies, his mother gave him a piece of chocolate. Michelangelo, Pizza, St. Peter's Basilica. The scene of Rapman feeding candle wax to Jungkook, so he's getting candle wax there, appears in Demian 2. It is an analogy to when Demian receives a drawing of Bird from Sinclair, and also means to urge him to wake to the fact that he can't be young forever. So I think once again, the bird, melting of the wax by the sun, Icarus involved in that again. Scene number 8, Hobie shooting an arrow towards V is not that he's killing V. I didn't even know it was towards V. So Hobie shooting toward V. It's not he's killing V. He's helping him to realize himself. It means the death of youth and growth. This shows in the photo of V with paint splatters after getting shot with the arrow. So not death, but growth. Yes, because remember I was saying like the whole thing is that the colors, it's always the colors that they say that it goes into a black and white world, colors are the youth. So maybe that's the death of his youth and the growth. This shows in the photo when the paint splatters. So when all the colors splatter, it means that his youth is dead. So when V is about to jump off the ledge here, the background image is Landscape with the Fall of Icarus by Peter Bruegel. Amid the peaceful scenery, Icarus falls down to where the eyes can't reach. The work portrays the intrinsic agony of humans. V jumping down symbolizes the death of youth and entry to the next phrase. So we're gonna write that down. Landscape with the Fall of Icarus. And then lastly, the song Suga is playing is Pasacaliga. In Endymion, if youth is symbolized by Mathis' passion, then after realizing the evil is changed into Pasacaglia. In the music video, the drama is changed after playing the music piece. Okay, so Pasacaglia is a composition similar to a chaconne, typically in slow triple time with variations over a ground bass. So, okay, often written and danced in the streets. Okay, so what changes from this? Can't search it. All right, we're gonna have to do some more research. If anybody wants to give a little bit of clues, I'm not gonna be reading the comments right now, but maybe I can come back and like figure it out. This is so deep, so deep. All right, so now we're gonna move on to our interview sections here. So yeah, if you look here, I'm not gonna read them all on camera. I can't, I'm not gonna be able to do that. It's gonna be like literally doing full interviews here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through, I guess, and read these on the side. I've been looking through them and they do look like they may have some hints, such as in Suga's, he's like, was first love from Wings that point of contact for you? Talking a little bit about August D, talking about how he worked on things such as Blood, Sweat, and Tears, things like that nature. What we're gonna do is, you guys can go and read those. I have the link in the roadmap there. I think the interviews will be very interesting. I just don't know if they're going to be 100% relevant to read every single word on this storyline analysis. So with that being said, we're going to skip those 7 interviews. We're going to do the 2 last sections and then we're going to move on and I'll read the interviews in my off time. My voice is going to give out. I don't know what else to say. So the last 2 sections here, the first one is called the Wings Tour in Seoul. So we need a little bit more context here. It says the boy moves forward. At the ending of the concert at Go Shok Sky Dome in Mokdong, Seoul, the concert that wrapped up the promotion of Wings and Wings You Never Walk Alone, as well as BTS Live Trilogy Episode 3 The Wings Tour, on the big screen covering the entire stage were videos and text showing the past of BTS, with how many roads must a boy walk before he could become a man to A Boy with 7 Hearts, and what is the boy looking for with closed eyes. It ended with The Boy Moves Forward, the journey of 7 boys who walk on a path that not even they themselves can know and move forward. From School Trilogy to HYYH and Wings, BTS built their own story inside their albums. The boys who worried about their dreams at school, who experienced their first love at school, met the temptation awaiting them on the path of adulthood in Wings. BTS in reality moved forward as well. The group that held their debut showcase at a small venue now sold out a 2-day dome concert in just 4 years. They also improved musically, with each of the members making a solo song in Wings, and got their name on the main charts of Billboard and iTunes. Whether in the story of HYYH or in reality, BTS faced many difficulties and worries, yet they became one and came this far. The huge venue, the fans who filled up that venue, and the 7 boys who show the path they walked on. This concert wasn't just a mere concert, it was also the first stop on their path of theirs. The VCRs organized the stories BTS included in previous albums and unfolded the stories between HYYH series and Wings, completing the story of BTS in the albums as a whole. Interesting, and I'm sad I couldn't be there to see it. It's fine. Each of the individual performances were carried out in different methods depending on what they wanted to deliver, like J-Hope's Mama, which turns into a large-scale performance towards the latter half of the song, or Suga's First Love, that was like his own monologue. On top of that, the VCRs also portrayed each member with symbolic images. This concert didn't just merely show the well-loved songs by BTS on stage, it was the annotation and the finish of the stories in the previous 9 albums of BTS. If You Never Walk Alone is the story taking place somewhere between HYYH and Wings, which wasn't revealed in Wings, the concert VCRs offer a deeper look into the story of the members in Wings. So even though HYYH didn't give us a personal, intimate explanation of each member, that's what Wings was for. Wings didn't expand the world of BTS through just one story only. No. The theme of Wings, the growth of the boys who met the evil, who portrayed not only the songs and music video, but also the individual short films and performances with every single moment carries a meaning. That's mise en scene or whatever it's called. Don't quote me. I literally learned about it last night. BTS Live Trilogy Episode 3 The Wings Tours also showed the story of Wings on a large-scale stage. The world of BTS is no longer just depicted through music videos or images only, as now depicted through a big concert stage. The advance of the boys has become the expansion of their world. Starting the concert was Not Today from Wings, You Never Walk Alone, and ending the act was Spring Day of the same album. Oh, to go from Not Today to Spring Day. Oh. I love that. In the Not Today music video, they remained unmoved despite being shot. We're bulletproof. It's what BTS is. The idols who show powerful performances. The group that called themselves Bulletproof in their debut album has now become a group that sings about consolation and hope in spring days after 9 albums. We went from bulletproof to try to console you bitches. Okay. A group that says I miss you to those that can't meet in hopes for the spring day to come someday. As much as the songs have changed, BTS changed and grew up too. The idol group that sang No More Dream went through I Need You and Blood, Sweat, and Tears and reached spring day. But as they grow, BTS still maintains the bulletproof side of them, like in Not Today. They have come a long way from No More Dream, but they still remain idols and boys. Starting with Not Today and ending with Spring Day, the concert showed the changing history of BTS, as well as our unchanged identity. Compared to debut days, the scale of the venues has grown unbelievably large. So, we're still the same boys, we just play in bigger places, baby. You know what I'm saying? Hey. They now perform in not only Korea, but also Asia and the West. Despite that, they are still the BTS that block out bullets for someone else. Their rehearsals now take several days, like the real concert, but they still work themselves into a sweat, just like the time they were in a small venue. So they always giving 100. The concert venue filled up with so many fans. The proof to what BTS has done so far is that they can tell who couldn't be with them, tell their peers that I miss you. Like the phrases in the concert, they shut the sky of youth away in broken drawers, search for a sea nowhere to be seen, in a world of swaying temptation, always alone in a moment of decision, but still they move forward carelessly. Oh, ceaselessly. Like the man in the myth that wished to fly eternally, the joy of BTS is going out looking for a bigger world, bigger ideals, and at the same time sharing the worries with the youth of their generation, finding the answer and realizing about themselves. And after so many stories, the Wings Tour Trilogy Episode 3 announced the end of the beginning of a new story. The boys moved forward, and he shall continue to move forward along the path called the never-ending question of youth. And this must be where we go into the love yourself era, because now we're becoming an adult and we gotta learn to love ourselves. Okay, I got chills. I love that. It's a beautiful way to like wrap it up and wrap up this entire era, I guess, under a big umbrella. All right, y'all. The last thing here we're gonna be reading is the ending passage, and I think it's just like a poem, something like that. It's italicized, so we know it's some kind of special. It says, how many roads must a boy walk before he can become a man? School and home, alleys and the sea, shutting the sky of youth away in broken drawers. At the dead end of the road is the entrance to the maze. Smeared blood on the palm, like a stigma, the pain riding up shoulder blades is a dream of soaring wings. In search of a sea nowhere to be seen, the boy walks. The boy with 7 hearts, 7 beats, and 1 move forward. Upturned view and 1 is 7. To run is to fall without doubt, and to turn away is to meet the cliff. In a world of swaying temptation, what is the boy looking for with closed eyes? Open the curtains and smash the mirror. There will lie a road in the fragments. Outside is inside, inside is outside. An entangled world, the crossroad of everything. The 2 worlds, back to back, relentlessly merge into one. Now the boy is 7 on that road. 7 but 1. 7 boys with 1 heart. 1 boy with 7 hearts. 1 and 7, the reflection of each other. How many roads must a boy walk before he can become a man? Roads are another name for the world. Day and night, crossroads, and tunnels. The roads take endless forks, and always alone in the moment of decision. In meeting and separation, there is nothing new. If he turns around that corner, can he meet a day of his crimson youth? If he turns the corner, will the crimson flower of youth still be in full bloom? As I'm walking down this road, you look back, bitch, you see that your youth is gone. Where is this dream leading to? Fear is another name for hope. Tears are another name for smile. The boy smiles. He can smile because they are together. The boy moves forward. The boy grows up. And that's the end of youth. We love it. Okay. All right, guys. Well, it seems like we got a lot of information here. Once again, I said I will read the interviews on my off time. I don't think my throat can take reading for about another 30 minutes of interviews. I think we all just need to take time to read those ourselves so Landon can continue. But I suggest everybody read them if they are following along with me. Their links are on the roadmap. I'm going to read them and then continue on my journey. I didn't take many notes, but it's great because it's all here in writing for me. If I ever need to refer back to it, it's not like I have to catch it visually, but there were some connections. And I love it. I'm gonna have to reorganize everything. I might make like a pie chart or something like that eventually, you know, just to like put it all out there. But this went so much longer than I thought it was gonna go. So I don't know how many more videos I have left in me to record today after all this information was thrown at me. Like I said, I thought it was going to be a paragraph that said, who did it? Some shit like that. Oh, boy, was I wrong? Boy, was I wrong. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. If you did, make sure you click like, comment down below, subscribe to the channel. We have more storyline videos coming out. Go and get some real water this time to rest this throat. I love y'all. Bye. I would love to know them by name. So